Have you ever just opened your closet and, without even thinking, reached for something black? Or maybe you've looked around a busy street or a boardroom and noticed just how many people are dressed head to toe in it? Well, it turns out it's way more than just a fashion choice. It's actually a deep psychological statement. Okay, let's get into it. I mean, it's a real question, right? It cuts across every culture, every profession. Is it just about looking chic? Or is it something much, much deeper? Today, we're going to peel back the layers on one of the most powerful and maybe most misunderstood colors in our wardrobe. So this is where it gets really fascinating. On one side, you have all the common stereotypes we slap on people who wear all black. You know, that they're sad or aggressive, maybe a little boring. But the psychological reality, it's often the complete opposite. It actually points to things like confidence, sensitivity, intense focus, and even prestige. Let's unpack what that's all about. Okay, first up, let's talk about power. We're not just talking about looking sharp, we're talking about making a declaration the second you walk into a room without saying a single word. You know, study after study shows that black is the color people most associate with things like authority, intelligence, and high status. It's basically a psychological shortcut. It signals to everyone around you that you're serious, you're in charge, and you mean business. And that feeling of power really breaks down into a few key things. You've got professionalism. Think of the classic power suit. It screams prestige, like a black tie event or a sleek limousine. There's this built-in elegance, a quiet, solid confidence. At the end of the day, it's all about projecting a sense of control. I just love this quote because it hits the nail on the head. It's the exact opposite of wearing some loud, bright color to get noticed. Black doesn't need to shout. It commands attention just by being there. It's a statement of self-worth that says, I'm enough. Okay, so that's how other people see us. But what about how we feel on the inside? That brings us to our next idea. Black as an emotional shield, almost like a protective barrier against the world. And this is where the psychology gets super personal. For a lot of people, wearing black isn't about projecting power outward at all. It's about protecting what's inside. It's kind of like a one-way mirror. It lets you see the world, but you don't feel like the world is seeing all of you. And yep, there's a name for that. Emotional armor. It's basically when we use our clothes, consciously or not, to create a little buffer zone around ourselves. It's a way of saying, you can see me, but you can't get too close. It can be a huge help in managing social anxiety, just creating that bit of personal space. And if you look at why people do this, it's pretty clear. The biggest reason, by a long shot, at 40%, is simply to feel safe. Then you've got 30% who use it to hide feeling vulnerable. And of course, it's also a tool for controlling social interactions and, in the most traditional sense, for processing grief. It's a real multi-tool for protecting our emotions. So we've got power and protection. But there's a third, totally different reason so many people live in black. It's the unofficial uniform for creatives. It's all about using simplicity as a canvas for the mind. This all comes down to something called decision fatigue. Basically, we all have a limited amount of mental energy every single day. So for creative types, architects, designers, writers, you know the vibe, adopting an all-black uniform gets rid of a bunch of tiny, useless decisions. They're not wasting brain power figuring out if their pants match their shirt. All that energy can go straight into their actual work. And here's where it gets really interesting. There's a paradox here. On the one hand, wearing black is a kind of conformity, right? You're adopting a simple uniform to blend in so you can focus. But on the other hand, it's a total act of rebellion. You're rejecting fast fashion. You're rejecting the pressure to follow trends. You're showing your individuality by refusing to play the game. This first quote just nails that artistic identity. It's basically saying, my ideas are more vibrant and colorful than my clothes will ever be. It's all about putting substance before style, the work before the wardrobe. And then you've got this, the perfect counterpoint. It's just raw, honest pragmatism. For so many people, it's not some grand statement. It's a life hack. It's just a way to simplify things, to streamline their day, and bring a little order to a chaotic world. All right, so let's tie this all together. We have power, protection, and practicality. It's time to learn how to decode the secret language your own wardrobe is speaking. So here is the biggest takeaway of all. Wearing black is never just one thing. It's a complex, layered message that totally changes depending on the person, the context, and their intention.
It's a language, and just like any language, you have to understand the little nuances to really get what's being said.
So, how do you start reading that language? Well, here's a quick guide. First, you've always got to consider the context. A black suit in an office says something way different than a black t-shirt in an art gallery. Next, look for those power cues. Is the outfit sharp, tailored, projecting confidence? Or can you see signs of emotional shielding? Is the person more reserved, trying to blend in? And finally, try to spot that creative focus. Is it all part of a simple, minimalist choice that says ideas are more important than appearances? And that's what we'll leave you with. Whether you reach for it to feel powerful, to feel safe, or just to make your morning a little bit easier, your choice is speaking volumes. It's a little snapshot of who you are in that exact moment.